Washington Commanders today as we do our team overviews. Today we're later in the day, so we are blessed with Brian. I think he might be here for the next
5 hours,
3.
guys. I will be here as many days as I could be here. When you guys are late, I'm jumping in.
Because our late episodes we're doing from here on are Patriots, Buccaneers. So and then we're going back to our regular time, and then we're gonna.
I thought the Buccaneers was our first 8:00 in the morning one.
Was it?
Yeah, because it's East Coast.
I thought we were starting with the Ravens.
I thought we were starting on Monday for some reason.
I mean, who wants to be the Buccaneers though? I mean, come on.
I don't know, but we'll see what we do about that. We might change it up. I don't know. What's up, Roman? But yeah, so we're doing the Commanders today, and quick rundown, I guess. That is their best season since 2016. Yep. So they finished 8-8 and won. They did tie. I can't remember with who. But that was, I know, towards the 9 starts that Heineke had. So the Washington offense is going through a big transit. Like the entire team, the organization, everything is new. Owners, coaches, players. There's a lot of new stuff going on. So
if only you did it to your left tackle and your tight end. If only.
So there's a lot of things going on. Obviously Bieniemy's stepping in. He's gonna come in there and he's gonna change that offense. He's been with, obviously, if you don't know who Eric Bieniemy is, he's been the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. Now he's coming in with 2 Super Bowls, I believe, going in with the Commanders, helping out Rivera. Sam Howell is entering his second year. We kind of believe in him, but the problem is we don't know much of him. So as a 5th round pick of the 2022nd year, I don't know why I said it that way, but you know what I mean, of the NFL draft, the rookie is going into last year was going into one of 3 quarterbacks. Taylor Heineke and Carson Wentz went 2-5 last season out of the 7 starts, and then like I mentioned earlier, Heineke went 5-3-1. Now going into the offseason, Carson Wentz got released, and Heineke now signed with the Falcons, which leaves Sam Howell the probably not day 1 starter. So while the offense has kind of been struggling for the past couple of years, they brought in a lot of good pieces, and we'll see what they did or this season if everything pays off. So yeah, it should be interesting. So what is going on? Hello, how are you?
Yes, welcome in.
So yeah, real quick, I mean, anything that you guys want to say before we deep dive into the Washington Commanders?
Well, they also brought in Jacoby Brissett in the offseason.
Yep.
And I've actually heard from people within saying he might actually be leading for QB1.
The whole QB battle that he's actually
because every time Ron is asked about it, he is very candid and goes, he's battling for it. He's very smart in his, which is weird for him because he's already comes off not smart, but he's been very smart with his wording when it comes to Sam Howell. And I find that kind of concerning, but I don't know if it's just a game he's playing to motivate. He likes to play these weird motivational games. So, we're not going to sign your 5th year rookie extension.
Oh,
you gotta earn it.
You hear what's going on with this whole Chase Young thing. I mean,
yeah. And then there's we're not trading Chase Young, or we're trying to trade Chase Young. No, we're not really trying. Oh yeah, we're fielding offers. Like, yeah. What is it? You're like 3rd time you're back and forth on what you're saying. So yeah. I don't know.
It's there's a lot of interesting. Again, there's a lot of question marks, but as for talent themselves, they brought in some new rookies. you want, we can go ahead and start doing that.
Okay.
By listing them off, Mark. Go ahead.
One quick. Okay. All right. So, that's the one I've been least looking forward to. With round 1, number 16, with Christian Gonzalez just sitting there, we went Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback out of Mississippi State.
Yep.
All 6'1", 160 pounds of the man.
Go. Where'd he go? It was a kite.
I don't get it.
And then round 2, with my center out of Minnesota just sitting there, we went Jartavius Martin, safety out of Illinois.
I don't understand that either.
Another pick.
The guy who's the worst of the two safeties that are there. You got that one. I was like, Matt Brown? Really? Okay. Whatever.
They kind of saved face with this next pick, number 97, Ricky Stromberg out of Arkansas. After doing some research, he actually won the SEC Offensive Player of the Year award. So that's actually a really good pick. And then apparently Braden Daniels is a fairly underrated guard out of Utah. So people were kind of high on him.
Stromberg was a monster.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, I was looking at some of those videos. I was like, ooh.
I watched a whole film video on him after we drafted him, and I was like, okay, I can get behind this guy. And then, of course, immediately after that, we released Chase Daniels. So.
Exactly.
So I was like, well, I hope you're good because you might be thrown to the fire awfully early. And then we got some filler picks. Round 5, 137. We got KJ Henry, defensive end out of Clemson. 193. We got Chris Rodriguez, running back out of Kentucky, which has lots of mixed reviews since we drafted him. And then we got Andrew Jones, linebacker out of Louisiana.
Yeah.
With 233.
Yeah. The only guys I see definitely making day one starts are the two DBs.
I don't even know if Jartavius Martin is going to start, man. I'm telling you.
I don't think Jartavius Martin is because they moved him to safety.
Yeah, he's not.
I think he's going to be the nickel guy.
He's not good at it. That's what
I don't know, but you got Forrester, who's pretty good, right? Forrest.
Yeah, we got Forrest and Curl will be the starters.
And Curl are still there, so
And they are.
I don't know. They might come in, maybe, but they like their safeties there in Washington.
Because last year we had Bobby McCain, Forrest, and Curl.
Yeah.
And then before that, we had McCain, Collins, and Curl.
Yep.
So they do like to have a rotation of 3.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That he might make an impact right away because you guys
he's gonna make an impact.
Like your safeties.
He's the guy that keeps on letting everyone behind him. But you know what? He's a ball hawking safety. He does.
He can jump. Yeah,
he goes after the ball. He is an athlete. He is. I mean, he's made a lot of good plays, but every time someone got behind him, it was always his fault.
That was both the first 2 picks. Both of them were ball hawks.
Yeah.
So we'll just
overall, I'm not really impressed on what they did. They could have done better, a lot better. I'm not liking what they did because we were sitting there like every pick that went through, like, what are you doing? Why? What do you see in this guy that the guy before was not doing what this guy does, who's a lot better? So,
Gonzalez should have been a day one starter, no brainer type of guy. Like that's wow.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what they were doing that day, and you know, these guys are going to probably be here for the next 2 years. I don't see a lot of them sticking around. I mean, the one I really hate out of here is Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I don't like him at all, to be honest. And I've seen his tape. I've watched him multiple times. The dude fumbles, man. Can't hold on to the ball. So
with a team that doesn't need a running back, like that guy, but you know he's probably not gonna get to see the field at running back. He's probably a special teams guy, and you say hit that.
Fumbles though. I don't want another Kyle Williams.
Yeah,
I mean, I
don't want that.
Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson are going to get all the carries.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, 100%, like 98% of the carries are going there.
They're already saying Antonio Gibson's like, I think Bieniemy's going to use him more. What it seems like,
right.
Because the update we got a couple weeks ago was just baffling to me. Like
No,
Rivera was
probably
like,
I've been thinking about that, and I'm not questioning Rivera. I'm questioning Scott Turner. Was he
Okay.
never writing up plays in practice, even to give Antonio Gibson the ball in the passing game, to where the enemy gets there, and that's the first thing he does, and then all of a sudden Rivera's like, "Oh, this guy can catch."
The enemy probably walked in. Is like, so obviously my first move is going to make Antonio Gibson a primary thought for our offense, and primary thing. And then Chico was like, for what?
"What's up? What's up, Anthony?"
What up, Anthony?
Yeah. Let's
Wait.
draft a guy who was a former receiver, put him at running back, and then 3 years later find out, oh, this guy can catch.
Yeah, who knew? Who would have thought? Clearly, they
We
did
all
it the
knew
first
it.
year because
That was the whole
first year,
why I
Lamar and I
took him
were-
in my dynasty league, because I knew what the talent he had.
right? I just
And they
remember the
finally
first.
figured it out. I was like, why is it taking you this long? Because you had McKissick there just
We kept on putting McKissick in there for all the time.
No,
Like,
that's
why?
what I'm saying. We watched that whole first season, and me and Martin would be like, "Did they not know Gibson can catch the ball? Like, why is he
and then
never out there
Gibson,
for passing plays?"
for his rookie year, had an amazing year. He had like 10 touchdowns and like pretty decent yardage. I mean, I can't name it off the top of my head, but it was good enough to be like, this guy can be the guy.
Right.
But then that following year, they just totally gave up on it. And I know Anthony being one of them. And yeah, thank you. Who's going to be the 300? Let's freaking go. I don't know.
I can't wait to see number 300. That's going to be so awesome.
Look, if you're number 300, I wish that you would say something in the comments. I want to know who our 300th one is. I would like to know. Because you're going to be the kicker to the giveaway next week. Right. And I would expect it to be next week because it seems like as we go along, we get onesie twosies here and there. So
every video seems like it brings another one.
I would imagine by Wednesday next week or the following we'll have the jersey giveaway, but we'll see. Yeah. Maybe we hit a dead zone. I don't know. We were at a dead zone for a good month and we didn't move.
Well, we were
at all. So it's happening.
But then you know what it is? When football moves start happening and fantasy football starts creeping back in, everyone wants to come on back.
Hey, all the redrafters come out of the woodwork and start. Yeah. We're very familiar with that. So, all right. So we're talking about Gibson. We're talking about the run game. Let's talk about this offense. All right. Led by Eric Bieniemy and Jack Del Rio as offense and defense coordinators. I have a 4-3. What do you have, Mark?
4-3.
4-3. Okay. All right. So just making sure we're on the same level and same page because I do like to see what you bring on what you look at, and it kind of changes up the way we think a little bit, but not entirely too much because it makes sense on some of the depth charts we all look at. So as usual, we start with the offense. Can Jacoby Brissett outbeat Sam Howell? We've seen it before where he comes into a different team and he's the guy for the next year or two. Jacoby Brissett is a journeyman, just above average backup guy.
He's the black Colt McCoy. That's why
he's better than Colt McCoy. He's better.
But it's because he can run the ball too. I mean, he gets the ball. He's athletic. He can run it. He can throw. He knows the offense. He learns it really quick. You know, you put him in a game. You can win, but you're not going to win because of him. The safer move is to have Jacoby Brissett in there. Sam Howell might make you win you games that you weren't supposed to win. Jacoby's not going to win games.
Sam Howell though. I believe in him. I think he can do it. He just has to prove a lot.
Can he do it behind this old line? That's why my question is: with Norwell out, you know, with Nick Gates taking over as center, can he do it behind this offensive line?
I don't know.
But that's more of a Mark question more than anything. I don't know.
I mean, you got Leno, Paul, Gates, Cosme, and Wiley. So I don't know. Like you need to. I don't know.
Man, I didn't even know Andrew Norwell was put on the pup list.
Yeah, he's on pup
Yeah.
on last Tuesday, I think it was.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like it's bad. Like I was reading some of the stuff and I saw that Stromberg might end up playing guard because they're not sure what's going to happen at guard.
Who the heck is playing center?
Gates.
Oh, Nick Gates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. Like we don't even know. I imagine Stromberg's gonna get sent in at center.
If he does, yeah, you move Nick Gates to left guard. I mean, one of them has to get kicked out.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to move.
Yeah, because you're not
But
going to
again,
start Chris Paul.
it's a team.
Well, there is Chris Paul, but I don't know if I trust him.
I don't think you
it's
start him.
It's a team that it's like the line is kind of not. It struggles.
Yep. It
And
has
this is why
talent
the
on the
draft
outside.
should have been the say what?
Yeah, it has talent on the outside. It's just when you have no line. I think we've said it so many times. I've heard it. If you have no line, it's hard for you to compete.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time.
I mean,
So-
these guys. And then you ask Sam how to learn the offense with also dodging everybody. So if he has to dodge people, you might as well put Jacoby Brissett back there because he's not fleet of foot. He's not going to dodge people as he's throwing the ball. That's a lot to ask for him. He might be the better quarterback overall, but who gives you the better chance to win? I don't know.
I mean, you have the option of Fromm as well. I'm not saying he's going to be over Howell, but I would imagine Brissett and Howell are probably going to be battling it out.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, don't forget Tim DeMormat.
Yeah,
Don't forget him. He's there.
no, we're not. No. No. That dude is going to get cut probably. I don't know. Well, he is a rookie, so they'll probably keep him around for a
What
little
about
bit.
Charles? You think he is round 4? Shaddick Charles.
I don't think he.
No. No.
A guard. Oh no.
I
Oh.
already find it interesting that we
Sadiq?
moved Sam Cosme to right guard.
Oh, Sadiq Charles. I remember him.
Yeah.
No.
I thought he was a tackle. That's why I'm so confused.
No, he's a guard. The guy we
man.
drafted in 2020.
Yeah. No, I'm not putting Jacoby Brissett there in. I'm leaving Sam Howell in. That's how I feel it should be.
I think Sam was mobile enough to withstand.
I think he is. Like, he was one of my favorites coming in last year, and we didn't really get to see that.
Right.
Even Heineke believed into him, and it is what it is. We'll see what we have in him, and I think he can do it.
Young line is scary, but I don't like Charles Leno Jr. Flat out don't like him. But truthfully, he's not a terrible left tackle. So like he's overpaid, but he's not terrible. So like you're not going to have people coming off the edge and like bull rushing him and destroying Sam Howell. That's not going to happen. But inside, if you can't protect inside, no quarterback can deal with that. I don't care if your name's Tom Brady. You can't deal with those type of things.
Right.
But then you have to really be able to run on. What happens if you can't run the ball because these guys can't get a push?
Then you're not moving the sticks, man. Like, it's just simple as that. It's just going to be a struggle because this defense isn't that stellar either. It's good, but
the line is amazing.
Depth wise, it's not that great depth wise.
Yeah.
So
I mean the line, the starters are in the line are great. You have a couple of linebackers, but then when you really start looking depth, they got some problems. And if you trade away Chase Young, how do you solve that? Unless you're just trying to give away the year. That's literally what that would sit there.
Yeah, but you got to find out if he's the guy or not. Some guys
they drafted his replacement, KJ Henry,
like Purdy. So yeah, no, I agree. I just feel like he needs to get the time. I would leave him in. Look, after game 5 or something, if he's still not doing anything like what you expect him to do, then put Brissett in. Until he gets hurt. I don't know.
Week 1. I'm not too worried about their pass rush. So.
You'll be okay.
At least we can ease them in,
Week 1, you'll be okay.
Yeah. So as for running backs, we got Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson, Chris Rodriguez, Jonathan Williams, and Jarrett Patterson. So Seems to me it's the same guys that we're going to rely on that last year.
Yeah.
Between Robinson, Gibson, we know they could do it if they can stay healthy. That's the thing, especially Gibson.
Especially
So,
Gibson.
I mean, Gibson's a very special running back, but the problem is
every 3 games he gets a shoulder injury or a hamstring injury or something like that.
Exactly. So, as for this line, hopefully they can help out. It's a lot of question marks and a lot of I don't know.
Even
Anthony,
tight
I
end.
see you there, man. What's up?
Even tight end. I mean, we got Logan Thomas. So you did not upgrade tight end?
Nope.
It's like,
no.
No. Logan Thomas was a decent quarterback at Virginia Tech. I used to like watching him play. But as soon as he put him at tight end, he's not going to be your blocker. He's not going to help you in any way for that. And he's not really that fleet of foot. He has good hands. He's just not fleet of foot, and he gets hurt all the time. So and you didn't get anyone to back him up? I'm surprised.
No, they're still relying on Cole Turner from last year.
Well, that's another guy who can't stay healthy. He was on the field, I think, for 2 games last year.
So hopefully Cole Turner can maybe step it up. I'm not sure. But besides those guys, the other pass catch, you got Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel. A really good triple threat here. I like it. Diami Browns can make some plays as well. I like what I see as for the receivers, and if Logan Thomas can stay healthy, it can produce something for Sam Howell. But again, we're gonna get into the defense, and it's no different from the defense and the offense. There's no depth. These guys get hurt, it's gonna be struggle city. Bad.
I mean, when you're ranking wide receiver rooms, I feel like this is a top 10 wide receiver room in all of the NFL. That's how good these guys are.
Yeah,
I can agree with you there.
Yeah, McLaurin and Dotson, I think, have star potential. Well, McLaurin's a star, but I mean,
he is a star. Not even potential.
He's a star.
It don't matter.
Jahan Dotson has that, and then Curtis Samuel has good hands. He really is. He's a really good third wide receiver. They worked well together, and then when you add Gibson into that core, it makes it even better. It makes it explosive. And the question is, can you block for it? And the play calls are going to be great. And, but even Bieniemy, when we saw in Kansas City in the Super Bowl, he can't play call for them not being able to block guys, no matter how talented he is.
I think they'll be able to pull it off. I think they can. I think they have one of the easier schedules, I believe.
We're like in.
Oh, they got.
Or is it the other
10.
way around? I know they were like 3 from the top of either being.
They got tough.
We're like top 5 or 6 of everybody. Yeah, we have tough schedule.
I think
Bengals, Ravens, Browns.
I think they could still get 7, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I have to look though. We'll look. I haven't really deep dived, but I think they could still do it somehow.
I'm at 5 right now, but
we'll
see.
I haven't seen it, and I don't care right now because
we're not there yet. We're going.
I want to get this defense out of the way first. Sean's, you got Sweat, Payne, Allen, and Young. Young, we might not even see there anymore, but then you got the linebackers at Davis, Cody Barton, Kendall Fuller, Cameron Curl, Forrest Forbes, and Jartavius Martin. So those are your starters. Now, give me on paper, that's amazing.
It is.
And there's no way, I would not, that is a really good defense. And
I worry about your edge, your corners, but everything else is just good. They're playmakers on all 3 levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They were one of the top 3 defenses last year behind Eagles and who was it? Eagles and somebody else. I want to say it was San Fran.
That makes sense. Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah,
they were one of the top 3 defenses, and it was just like their offense just couldn't get it done.
And that was without Chase Young.
Yep. and also, I would like to see them do it more consistently because I feel like they'll be lights out for 2 games, and then you'll be like, "Where'd you guys go?"
Yeah,
or
why would you
last
go for
2
40
years
burger?
ago, or like 2 years ago when we were like so hyped on this defense. And the first 6 weeks, we were like among the worst defenses in the league. Like,
yeah,
we
it was
we
the
allowed a
biggest question
Giants
ever.
team to put like 29 points on us. I'm like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I kept asking that question, like, you guys should be the best, and you guys are one of the worst. It's
a giant question mark. That's the whole team is a giant question mark.
It is.
But with this defensive line, we should be okay with just okay secondary because there shouldn't be enough time for the quarterback to freaking throw a ball. But it seems like no matter how good our defensive line is, people like we still don't perform up to how good we are most of the time.
Yeah. Cody Barton here, new addition.
I like him.
So do I.
I know. One of you was down on him. I think.
No.
I don't think so. I don't think it was
us. I think we finally might have got our middle linebacker, so I'm excited.
I would hope so. He learned behind Bobby Wagner for about 2 years, and he was there alongside with Jordan Brooks his last 2 years, or was it 3 years behind Bobby and Wagner, or Wagner and Brooks? His fourth year was just Brooks and him. So now they didn't pick up his fifth.
Yep.
So he moved and he went off to Washington. So I would expect him to take control of this defense.
I agree.
So him and Chase Young should be the leaders, even with Payne, Allen, and Sweat. Like even like those 5 guys are just like they are leaders. But the problem is it too many cooks in the kitchen?
Possible.
Isn't that what was happening last year? I mean, when Payne, Allen, and Sweat, someone was always bumping heads with one of them. You know,
it was Allen and Payne.
It was like all the time. They were just always.
I just feel like sometimes they get so stuck in like individual, like, oh, I got to make sure I'm getting my stuff, that like they don't think about like a team kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the biggest issue with this defense. So maybe with like Barton in there and the emergence of Forrest hopefully helps turn it around. I also think I'm excited for Jamin Davis. I'm going to call this his second year, not his third year, because that whole experiment of putting him at middle linebacker was horrible. I don't know why they did it to begin with. So I'm excited to see what steps he takes. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is our strongest side of, like, I think our defense is way stronger than our offense.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But
and it's going to need to be. Because we're playing some high-powered offenses, for crying out loud.
I was looking at it, I was like, whoa. Like, it's tough. It's tough.
I'm questioning Davis. I don't know. Like, I know he was hurt
for him.
I mean, he's still kind of hurt,
but
showed flashes last year when he was finally in his true position, the strong side linebacker. He showed flashes.
And this 4-3 defense, they do funnel to your strong side linebacker. So if you can make plays, that it works for you. The question is, will the line do what they're supposed to do to allow him to not get blocked? Because when you are trying to attack all the time, sometimes you don't hold up your linemen, allowing them to get to the second level. And if they do get past that line, then you have problems. Yeah. Once again, it's about the scheme. Can you get everyone to follow the scheme? Because as far as players, they are just superb.
And they should by now. This is most of these people's 3rd+ year of this stupid system.
Doing the same defense.
If we struggle again and we don't get rid of Del Rio, I'm going to be fed up.
Yeah.
But clearly they're not understanding Del Rio's system and what they're trying to do.
I mean, Ron Rivera will be the first one. I think he's on the hot seat personally.
Yeah, he will.
I think so.
He'll be at the hot. Yeah, I think he already is.
I think even if we do good, he still might step out. He'll probably be given a upper position, probably.
I can see him going higher.
And I think the enemy is the one who takes over.
Yeah.
That's seriously what I believe. I feel like the only reason Bieniemy came was because they were like, you're going to be our next head coach.
Also, looking at Bieniemy, it usually takes 2 years for him to get his guys in there.
Exactly.
So even if, like, yes, they didn't do a lot of stuff in the draft, they didn't get the tight end we thought they should be getting. They didn't get the line help that we thought they should be getting. Maybe they value next year's draft more than they value this year's draft, and just said, all right, whatever, we're going to get a quarterback and we're going to get these other guys next year. And that's why they're looking to trade Chase Young, because in my mind there's no other reason to try to trade him. There's none.
Yeah. I mean, how much you think they'll get out of him though?
From Chase, I can think of the word is they want a first.
They're not going to get
offers at second and a third is what their offers are right now.
I do
don't
know
maybe they can. I don't know.
There was some decent offers when we had him on the trade block the first time. But no one was offering a first, so that's why they pulled back and said, we're not trading him.
Yeah, but because it makes sense. But when you look at it and you say, okay, this thing is deep. This next draft class is deep. If I could get me a second or two, if I get 2 seconds, 2024, 2025, that's almost worth a first. That's probably better than first,
say so.
Yeah,
and in my opinion, in the NFL, that would be definitely worth it. Especially next year, I think they're gonna have to go after a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And if Young is gone, I think they'll have to.
I would like to see
maybe
KJ
potentially
Henry
look at the line again. Both sides.
KJ Henry, one more year. I would like to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think of James Smith-Williams?
Yeah, he's in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and rotating in.
He's the next one in.
Yep, and I feel like one of the reasons they're putting him on the trade block is I think they like him a lot because he's the one who came in and was playing while Chase was hurt.
Yep, and doing fine with these all pro guys, and someone has to do the grunt work, and almost sometimes it makes your defense better to have a guy who's willing to pull their guy, willing to play the backside.
That guy's going to be so much cheaper in the long run than Chase Young.
Yep.
Another thing I noticed that David Mayo's here too, and I just like
that's the one position on the whole defense where I keep scratching my head.
He's really good, but the problem is he's not a starter.
I agree.
So
I think he's a serviceable, rotation guy. Give your starters a break. Even if they get hurt, he can come in.
Yeah, I like him. He's pretty good.
You look at their defense; it's a 4-3, but isn't it more like a 4? They run nickel more than they run.
They do because
you know what? You're right. You're exactly right. They run the nickel all the time. So you're right. He probably is a rotational piece.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be interesting to see these guys run. We're gonna get into the freaking schedule here, and then we'll see what we really have.
Well, we have one thing before that, though.
Out of a consensus of us three, what's up?
We got to do taking, gambling, not taking.
Yeah, I'm getting there, Mark. Thank you. Okay. But before we get to the schedule, because last time we had Brian on, it kind of threw us off with we had an extra number in there.
Yeah,
I can't. What team was that?
It was the Bears, right?
Was the Bears? Okay.
Yeah.
So the average is going to change a little bit. So hopefully I fixed it, and hopefully it's working today. So it wasn't working for us the other day. So, but yeah, no. Since Brian's back, do you want to go last, first, or second on the who you taking, who you gambling on, and who you absolutely not touching at all?
I'll go second.
Okay.
I think we should leave Mark to go last.
Okay. Well,
cool. All right.
For the ones that I'm gonna take right off the bat, I'm gonna take Jahan Dotson, and I know that's probably the easy one, but then I know McLaurin is probably there, but Jahan Dotson is just gonna be there, and these are all dynasty picks too. Obviously, no matter who is gonna be there, I think he's gonna be productive. Now, I could say McLaurin's going to get 1,000 yards no matter who the hell is back there because that's just what he does somehow.
Yeah.
But I think Jahan Dotson is going to step it up big time this year, and I think he might get majority of the touchdowns this season. And no matter who they have back there, I think both of these receivers are going to benefit from it.
I agree.
So I'm going to take Jahan Dotson as my for sure go-to. My gambling on, I'm going to say Gibson. Despite of everything we've seen and heard, and I just like the injuries for me. He's still young. And that's why he's a gamble for me. But even if he's with Washington in the future or if he's not, he's still going to be in the league producing a good handful of weeks here and there. Maybe just less injuries. I don't know, but I'll take a gamble on him. He's what, only 24 years old, 20.
Is he 25? I think.
I think he's turning 25 this year, but I'm not too sure about
he's
that.
He's 24. But... He turns 25 in 3 weeks.
Okay. And the guy I'm not touching is I don't like these safeties. They are good. And they put up 20, 30 points on a single game. But the problem is it's so inconsistent that you start relying on a guy and then they just disappear. So I'm not touching any of these safeties.
I feel like it'll be a little different this year just because they now have defined roles. Because Derek Forrest was playing both free safety and strong safety because Cameron Curl got hurt. But again, that's the other issue too that I agree with you. I wouldn't take him. It's just because
you haven't seen it.
Yeah, and they get hurt all the time. That's why I dropped Cameron Curl. I loved him, but I was like, I'm not gonna keep you on my roster.
We're always looking at them. It makes sense. You get hurt because you're playing more. 60% of the time, I think they're playing nickel, so they're on the field all the time. They're almost as it's starting. So they playing their base defense so few times. I mean, they were on nickel or dime so many more times. They have more opportunity to get hurt.
Yeah.
All right, you got Brian.
All right, so the one I'm taking, definitely taking. I think this is his year. I know this is weird for all those guys on defensive line, but I want Montez Sweat. I think will be his year, big time, because he's looking at a payday, and he has to produce. Everyone else got paid. Deron Payne got paid. Jonathan Allen got paid. Chase Young might be gone. I think Montez Sweat is going to produce and do some big numbers. I could see a 15-sack season this year for him. I'm saying big numbers for this guy right now. Because I think the line understands.
That's hard to do, man.
But once you get paid, you're the one guy of us four not getting paid. I feel like they will say, okay, we'll do what we need to do to make sure that you get your one-on-one coverage. This is what you have to do. No one is arguing with Montez Sweat. He's not one of those guys that they don't like. I think he has a big year this year. He's someone I will love.
That's a lot, man. I'll give you double digits in 12 max, but 15, even though that's a 3 difference, that's good.
I know it, but this defense is just so good. I think they would even sacrifice for themselves a little bit more just to make sure he has a big number to get him to get paid.
All right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Someone I would like to gamble on, really, Brian Robinson. I think Brian Robinson could, in this defense, this offense, could run for 900,000 yards, 1,000 yards with, even with Antonio Gibson there, because I think he's going to be used more in the passing game, and they're going to rely on him in between, and he's not going to be working about outside runs. It's going to be inside. I would put a gamble on Brian Robinson overall, because I don't even know if Antonio Gibson is going to make it through this whole season.
It could be the other way around.
It could be.
Gibson's in between the pylon and Robinson's.
I think Brian Robinson will always. He will get you points. He's going to get you points no matter what, and I think he's going to be there longer. So I don't think Gibson's going to get a big contract, and he's going to be pissed off. I think Brian Robinson is going to be there at least 3 more years. So even for dynasty purposes, I know that it works. He's going to be around. He might outlive the coaching staff. Still be around.
Yeah, probably.
And with the quarterback questions, what do you have to do? You have to run the ball. And those games I saw, I really enjoyed seeing him run the ball. I thought he was very talented, and he just doesn't get negative runs. That's he's not a negative guy. Like you hand the ball off, you're getting 2 to 5. He's probably not the home run hitter, but that's what Antonio Gibson is. But if he does that and he gets the touchdowns, I like him. I'll take a gamble for that. And then as far as not wanting to touch with a 10-foot pole, it's anyone that they drafted. All those draft picks I feel like are terrible positions you put him in. Emmanuel Forbes, I think, will get used. He's gonna get hurt. Honestly, I feel like he's gonna get hurt the first time you see him, unless he gets, gains 20 pounds in some way. Yeah, and I can see them picking on him on this defense. I can really see it on the outside. Yeah, a big receiver or going to get someone who's that light. He's not that big. I will pick on him all day. So I don't want to touch him with a 10-foot pole.
Interesting.
All right, what you got, Mark?
Well, you guys didn't leave me much, so my absolute take is gonna be Terry McLaurin. By virtue of not much else. I mean, there's people I would take, but like absolute, I mean, Terry McLaurin. Okay. He's shown you time and time again what he can do, even without quarterbacks. And if we can get some stability at the quarterback position, who knows?
He's gonna be the first one that's gonna blow up. He has 1,200 yards. It's only in week 10. What? Yep.
And then my gamble is gonna be Cody Barton.
Okay.
It's the first time since Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio have been here that we actually have a true middle linebacker. And getting to learn under Bobby Wagner and in that Seattle defense, I feel like he could come here and he's already slotted as the number one guy. And I just feel like he could lead this team in tackles and hopefully, lead this team to like a solid defense. So I like Cody Barton. And then as far as who am I not taking? Huh?
So that's crazy. You're a lot higher on Cody Barton than I am. That's interesting. I like your take. It's interesting.
Yeah. And then who am I not taking? Logan Thomas. Because we'll be lucky if he's on the field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That guy, as the last 2 years, has played 5 games. And I like the guy. I think he's more of a true number 2 tight end, too, personally. Like, if he was slotted at the number 2, that'd be a pretty scary combo with your number 1 tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I think he's serviceable and he is solid, but
I think he's a split end. I don't think he's a tight end. He's a slower receiver. He shouldn't be your tight end because you can't rely on him. As soon as he blocks, he hurts something. Oh, my shoulder. Oh, my hip. Like, it's always something like that. So I think it's just a mistake. But, he had to play a position because he's that talented. And tight end is where it fell.
Yep.
I like how you labeled Cody Barton as a true linebacker. I disagree, man.
You don't think he's a true linebacker?
I think he was always in the shadows, man. There's always someone better than him. Him coming here has a lot to prove.
What I'm saying, I feel like he can learn from those guys.
The problem is, I need to see it first, man. Like
well, that's why he's a gamble.
No, I know, but then like you also you also said he's a true linebacker.
He's a true
linebacker.
Middle linebacker.
Not a gamble.
Middle linebacker.
I don't know, man.
Like everybody, Cole Holcomb's not a middle linebacker. I don't care what anyone says. That guy was always a weak side linebacker, strong side linebacker kind of guy.
Yeah.
And obviously, Jermaine Davis was definitely not a. He's so much better when he's on the other side of the guy who's running the offense.
When you're allowed to go ahead and make the play.
Exactly. You're like, hey, you're here. You go to wherever the football goes.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Don't lead the defense.
He's going to eat when he does that. He can't
I'm
be
not
the guy who's
going to be like horrible. I think he's going to be on the top tier echelon ones.
That's what I'm saying. But I feel like he has the potential to be.
So what you're saying is basically if all of a sudden we look at the schedule and for them to win 9 games, it's going to be because his defense is eating, and he will be a major reason why the defense will be eating. I got you. I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Interesting. It's interesting.
And I just like the people he was learning from. If he can take what he learned from those guys and from that system, bring it.
I would hope so. I
feel like Seattle's system's somewhat similar to us.
A little bit.
The way their defense plays.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's interesting you say that, and it's it's just confusing because there's so much talent.
Yeah.
And then they bring him in. It's like, okay. It's just the whole defense might be just so confusing to me. This team is confusing to me. They're so good and on paper, but then like just trash on the field. It's just confusing. Almost as confusing on why we're talking about the Commanders and Anthony.
More confusing to me, man, because it's my team. I deal with this shit all the time.
Yeah, but Anthony, I'm just surprised Anthony hasn't said anything all day except trash on my internet, which it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you still there, man? You better be. Talking about your team.
I know. I was kind of sad he hasn't been here.
Could be crying a little bit. I'm sad.
Well, nobody cares about the Commanders.
Hey, I care, damn it.
All right, go ahead. Let's go off this schedule, man. Go ahead.
Alrighty. So obviously they start at home against the Arizona Cardinals, which I kind of like. Nice little ease into the season before hell all breaks loose when we take.
What if they lose?
Oh, if we lose,
are you calling the season if they
it's
lose?
over. It's over.
Yeah, if we lose to the Cardinals, then I said it's been a good ride, guys. I'll see you next year. I'm gonna go into hibernation.
Do you realize that Braden's gonna give you so much shit that week?
Hey, if we lose against the Cardinals, they'll be like Caleb Williams.
Exactly, because you guys will not win any games if you lose.
Look, we got the Broncos in Denver, followed by the Bills at home, followed by going to Philadelphia.
I know. And
then
then, on a short week,
we got the Bears. Then we go to Atlanta. Then we have to go to New York. Then we host the Eagles. Then we got the New England Patriots in New England. Then we have the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. So we got to go from New England to Seattle. Then we got to go all the way back to then we come back home from New York. Then we have a shortened week again to play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Who did this?
I don't know. Then after that, we play the Miami Dolphins. And then we have another easy game, the Los Angeles Rams, finally in week 15. So week 1 and week 15. Woo! And then we got to go to New York a second time to play the Jets. San Francisco at home, and then end with the Cowboys at home. Good Lord.
Dude.
That's a horrifying schedule.
I'm mad at myself. This is
good Lord.
Wow. Dude.
I know the over-under, and I don't even know how they got there.
I can see it. I can't see it.
I see 2 wins right now, my guy.
Ooh.
And that's Arizona and LA. And LA, if they're freaking healthy, you guys aren't winning that.
Oh man.
If Stafford is throwing over, I don't know.
I'm gonna say because your defensive line is so good.
Now I'm looking at
Is this a punishment for having the easiest schedule last year?
They say, "Oh, we got you this time.
God.
We got you."
Because it's not even like a hard schedule. The traveling, we got to play the Eagles followed by a short week. Like this is rough.
It almost doesn't make any sense. Even your preseason games are horrible.
Well, we play the Ravens.
Cleveland, Ravens, and the Bengals. I was like, ooh.
And clearly we lose because the Ravens have the longest preseason winning record ever.
Cleveland, Ravens, and the Bengals are just going to already just destroy your soul.
Hey, AFC North, are you busy? We need you to play Washington in preseason.
You guys are gonna come in already with bad taste in your mouth because you lost 3 in a row. You better like the only thing I see is that Cardinals game, but other than that, man, I don't know, man.
This is awful. It's gonna be like one of those things, snowballs that just start rolling, and then by the time you get to like week 8, everyone's gonna be checked out. Because I mean, you usually split against the Eagles, right? So I'll figure out maybe the Eagles, the Giants, maybe split against the Giants, maybe you split against the Cowboys and then split against the Eagles.
Yeah, I have 3-3 in division.
That's 3, right? And then you said the Cardinals 4. Man,
the Rams 5.
Maybe.
So I see 6.
I
I'm
can't-
at 6.
I'm at 4. Because I don't think you split against the Eagles even. I'm at 4. 4, 12, and 1.
Man, if Seattle or New England was at home,
I
it
see
would've been a lot
3.
better.
You see, yeah. I said 4, 12, and 1. I have them tying one again because that's what I already said about the Bears. I think we'll tie.
Sorry, but I see 3, man. No. It's gonna be
All right.
rough.
6, 10, and 1 because we're tying with the Bears.
You say 6,
6, 10, and 1.
I got 4.
and
Just
I have 3.
because. Just
So we're at
because
4 and
no
a half.
matter how good one team is and how bad the other, like
It's just the
our
NFC East.
division always splits. Like it just doesn't matter.
I could see this being a 2 and 4 year. I could see the Eagles beating you guys handily twice. I could see you splitting with the Cowboys. I could definitely see you splitting with the Cowboys. And the Giants
we'll
don't scare
probably
me
beat them
either.
that last game to knock them out or something. Because that's what the Cowboys do.
That sounds like right. That sounds about right. And I can see the Giants
Yeah.
and the Cardinals. That's it. That's literally it. And then even that the time talking about the Bears, if they trade Chase Young to the Bears, oh yeah, you're not winning that one either. It's like,
Well, we'll see if that happens.
that could
Because we all know you're not getting Frank Clark anymore.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what the hell?
He went to the team we're playing September
Second.
17th.
You're gonna see him. But I can see Broncos getting killed, right? Bills getting killed. Eagles.
I don't think
getting
we'll get killed by the Broncos.
I think that
I
team
think
right
you
now.
do.
I think
I think that team's different this year.
In Denver.
Well, we'll see week 1.
In Denver, that's the thing. It's in Denver.
Yeah, no,
if
it's
it
in
was
Denver.
in Washington, I mean, that's another thing. But in Denver,
As soon as Hackett was out of that building, that team was completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different. And they worked with what they had, and they made it. They were close on some of those games. I'm sorry, my friend, but
what's your
I think
other 3 teams? What's your other 3 teams? I want to know.
the Rams, the Cardinals, and then either the Bears or the Falcons. I'm winning one of them, damn it.
I'm pretty sure you lose all of those.
yeah,
No, I'm not just kidding. I think you.
I
don't think
you
lose
win
with
against
Bears
Cards.
But I don't. I think
Yeah, that's it.
I think the Bears game will be close. I think the Falcons game will be close. Both Giants games should be close. Patriots game will be close. Seahawks game will be close.
I don't think the Patriots game would be close either.
I'm so glad you're here, Brian, because this is what
Why?
you sounded like about your Bears when we were talking about the command.
Okay, this guy said they were going to win 8 games last year. I said 6. How is that out of the realm of possibility? 6?
Last year, I'm talking about
you're
when
not-
we did the Bears
you're
episode.
not off.
When we did it,
Even me saying 4 is not like we're only 2 apart. It's not like we're this huge leap apart. But I
You guys
don't
are acting
see
like
it.
I'm saying they're going to win 15 games. I said 6.
So that's what you guys said to me. I said like
There's got to be
we're
at least 2
8-1.
other games on the schedule that they could like squeeze by.
And
You guys just talked about
if
how decent
Miami
we are now. So really win 2 games.
if Miami is hurt, I mean, you never know with Tua. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But Dalvin Cook going there does scare me a whole lot.
nah, Magic Mike is back there. He'll make it.
No, that guy will get hurt too. Dalvin will get hurt too. That's just what he does. But they have like 13 running backs, so they'll be fine.
That's true. Doesn't matter. They'll just keep on bringing another one in. They'll be like the 49ers last year.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Oh.
If you lose against the Cardinals, this is going to be a real tough season.
No, I don't disagree with that. That if we lose to the Cardinals, you might as well. There's no chance.
If you lose to the Cardinals, you just say, I'm going for the number 1 spot. Do what the Bears did. Trade all your pieces off and just go for the number 1 spot.
They're going to do what they did like 3 years ago, and they're going to lose. They're going to be like 1-7, and I'll be like, all right, Caleb Williams, and then they're going to win like 7 games in a row, and I'm going to be like, what the fuck? And then we're going to finish 8-9 and be in the same spot like we are every year, because we started 2-6 and we're on pace to get Trevor Lawrence, and I was like, just let it happen. Just let it happen.
I don't believe in Chico that much, but
And then
okay.
he won 7 games in a row, and I was like,
We'll
hey,
see. We'll
it.
see. That's all I can say,
We're
man.
gonna finish
We'll see. That's just the toughest schedule.
7-10.
I've never seen a schedule that
That's
tough.
terrible.
That's horrible.
Mark says 7.
No, I said 6. Get out of here.
You just said
Did not
7.
say 7.
Give me
No,
a
I said
freaking
that's
number, dude. Stop
I said,
jumping
well,
around.
I've said 6 this entire time.
Yeah, but then you said 7 and 10. So
No,
it's like,
and then
what
I
is
said
it?
what's gonna happen because that's just what happens every year. We're gonna finish around the 14th pick of the draft.
This is
No,
your
I'm
year.
saying 6.
This
I'm
is your
saying
year.
6.
Okay. I say 3.
I say 4. So that's what, 4.5.
4.5.
Well, technically, it's 4.
Well, yeah.
13
if you
divided
really
by
want to
3.
do the math, that's
It's 13.
4.3.
It is.
It's 13 by 3.
That's
It's
4.3.
4.3. Yeah.
So 4.5. Let's put it there.
That's why we said 4.5. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
No, I mathed wrong. I thought it was 12, so I was just like 4. Or if you want to round down because it isn't over the half point.
Look, I know you're mad. I get it. It upsets you that we're not high on your team as much as you want us to be. I get it.
If they played a different NFC team, like I thought
I
that
don't care that much, but you're just like saying I'm crazy for saying 6 wins.
When did I say the words crazy? He is just
man.
like, look, man, I'm just telling you what I see. I see 3 games. I'm sorry I didn't give you a 6. I'm sorry my internet's bad, Anthony. I'm
You literally-
sorry that we're doing the Commanders today, and I actually went out and put my Antonio Gibson jersey on for you guys. Relax. I
It's
don't
so
care.
funny. You sound just like me last year, Mark.
He does.
He really do.
He does. But the thing is, he doesn't see it that way because he's defending his team. I get it. I usually bash on my Falcons all the freaking time, so that's nothing different anyways. But look, 3, 4, and 6. And I never said you were crazy. So we're going at 4.5.
I like it.
I don't believe you, but okay.
But that still puts me at like the 6th pick.
Yeah, it does. Unfortunately, everyone's
That's
going
exactly where you're gonna be at. And
It's
that's
so
exactly what you're gonna be at 6, and you guys are gonna get yourself one of the best offensive tackles there.
That would be great.
You
That
have
would
to.
be great. Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt about it. Damn, tough to be a Washington. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm sorry, Mark. This now it's probably been
I don't
officially
apologize.
our most depressing show.
Because I thought I honestly
I
thought we were
already
gonna
said
come
that to
here-
my sister earlier. I said, she goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Commanders."
I thought the
we were going
Cardinals
to come
was
in and
gonna
say
be bad.
7. I thought we were going to come and say 7. I thought that this was like, oh yeah, this is going to be fine.
Oh, the over/under was 7.5, and we were only favored against the Falcons.
Really? I
and
got
the
the over under at
Cardinals.
6.5.
Or was it 6.5?
6.5. Yeah.
Might have been 6.5.
That's why I'm not saying you're crazy by saying 6 wins.
So there was only one team you guys were favored over.
No, 2.
Two.
Cardinals and the Falcons.
Okay. So you can't. So am I wrong with my 3? Even if they said they're 2, just saying.
Well, they had the 6.5.
I said 2 at first, but then I thought maybe they'll split with the Giants. That's what I'm thinking. Imagine only being happy 4 times out of the 17 weeks. Well, there is a bye week, so make it 5.
Nah, when you only have 4 wins, the bye week isn't a happy week.
It's just a week closer to you getting to the draft. That's what you got to remember. It's almost into the draft. I'm almost there.
Rasta, I'm sorry that you even Anthony himself isn't chatting. This is his only comment of the day. That is it. He is gone. Rasta stuck it out. All Washington, they're just out. I'm sorry. All right. Anyways, hopefully you guys can get more wins. But the good thing about it is you'll be in the top 10 draft picks. And like I said,
We'll find a way to screw that up too.
I feel like offensive tackle is probably the biggest need, and these offensive tackles next year, they're giants.
Yeah,
they're big as hell. So
probably squeak out 5 wins, but still somehow get like 11.
Maybe.
Everyone, it was very top heavy this year, so everyone was terrible.
Yeah.
So you
Right.
At least we put you better than the Titans. How about that? According to what we've done so far, we got you higher than the Titans and higher than the Cardinals. You're tying up here with Houston Texans and
the Colts.
Indianapolis Colts here in the top left. So
hey,
this is our
1.5 better than the Cardinals.
Yeah, well, let's hope you win that game, because if not, then that's going to be
that would change.
Who knows?
Yeah, that would switch it to 4 and 3.5. So that would be bad.
I'm at a loss for words. Depressing show. Yeah, no, it was. I thought the Cardinals was going to be pretty bad, but this is officially our most depressing show. Nobody watched this show, Mark. I looked at the numbers, and it didn't go any higher than 5.
They all knew. They're like, we know where it's going to be, guys.
I feel bad even making. No, don't. Absolutely not. Because next year they're going to have a beast-ass draft with Eric Bieniemy, and this guy's going to be on his high horse, and he's going to be all like, oh, yeah,
it's going to be something like that. They do
all along.
They do trade Chase Young. They get a 2nd and 3rd for Chase Young. So they turn around. They have 1 first, 2 seconds, 2 thirds.
Yes.
And then those top picks, they end up changing the entire offense, and everything looks good the year afterwards. So
might as well just trade that entire defensive line, get best value.
But if we're getting a tackle, does that mean Sam Howell still the quarterback?
I sure hope so. I don't know.
I hope so, but we'll see. All right, guys, that is our Commanders episode. Overall, what do you guys think? Brian, I'll let you speak because we already know it.
It's sad. You know, I'm looking at it, and I'm telling you, I was coming in thinking I'm going to say 7. And then as soon as I saw the schedule, I was like, ugh, this doesn't look good at all.
No, I couldn't even say 7.
You know, but I hope, look, this is the NFC East. You don't know what's going to happen. So, though they probably won't be favored in a lot of games, they could get to the 6 wins. Even though if I was Mark, I would rather have 4 wins than 6. I would rather have a higher draft pick than have those 6 wins, because those 2 extra weeks are not worth it. 6 and 11 doesn't make me very happy.
Mark's quitting today. He won't be here tomorrow for our Patriots episode.
I'm not quitting.
I'm taking a day off, man. But me and Brian will be here for the Patriots episode tomorrow.
Exactly.
Mark, I'm sorry, buddy, but it is what it is, man. All right. Tomorrow the Patriots episode will be at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 Central, 5:30 Pacific. So yes, good riddance with this episode. Get it done, over with. We won't have to talk about it until whenever we bring up Washington again. Anthony, where'd you go, man? This is what you had to say. We talked about your team, and you bring up your team, and this is what you said. Disappointing you, my guy. You had all hour to talk about them. Now, I hope you're okay. I hope it wasn't an emergency or anything. I hope you're safe, buddy. But, I mean, this was your hour.
I just hope that he's going to come back on Sunday and say all the things he wanted to say. He's gonna be like, all right, I got you now. All you guys.
You know what the thing, like whatever he had to do, like I'm sure he had whatever it was. I'm sure he's gonna watch this episode.
Oh yeah.
But I hope you're okay, man.
I can see him writing down a response.
Oh man, he's
Dear Dynasty Pylon.
He's gonna email us, man. He's gonna email us.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, anyways, tomorrow, if you're watching this, wherever the hell you're at, tomorrow, this knucklehead here, description down below is the Get Right Fantasy Network. They're doing a underdog fantasy draft for money, right? Or something like that. I think. Are they? You guys doing your Friday gift card things, right? Something like that. It should be starting up. And tomorrow we doing our Patriots. So hopefully we can talk about mac and cheese a little bit more and stupid Bailey Zappi.
Bailey Zappi. I thought that what you said yesterday was hilarious about Bailey Zappi. That was like the funniest thing. So I don't care if he wins 4 Super Bowls. I don't be that one guy in the stands hold up a sign and say, "You suck, Bailey Zappi."
What's funny is Mark was saying that at the beginning, and it's true because I'm just kind of rolling with it. Like, I don't like that dude. He sucks. He sucks. I don't care if he's the starter and no. We're talking about this tomorrow. I'm not going to vent about the Patriots because today we're talking about Commanders. All right, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be an evening show again. Or wait, hold on. Yes, it will be an evening show tomorrow. So we'll catch you guys then later. Rasta, thanks again, man. You're always here. Love you, pal. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, wherever the hell you're at. Later.
Later.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate.